Hey, what's happening? Before we jump into the show, I wanted to see if you had any music on a hard drive. You have a band, you have a project, and you want to self-release your own music. Well, there's an easy way to do it. You can go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate and go get your music up on all the streamers. You keep 100% of your royalties, and you can get 30% off by using this code. It's a great, easy way to get your music up on the streamers and share it with your fans, your friends, your family, your mom, your dog, everybody. Everyone wants to hear it. But go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate, HYPHENATE, and send me the link. I want to hear it too. Send your mom the link. Send your dog the link. They all want to hear it too. We'd like to thank our sponsor, iZotope, the absolute leaders in intuitively designed plugins for audio restoration, mixing, and mastering. At iZotope.com, you'll find a plethora of tools and suites that will enhance your audio production, whether it's voice, video, podcast, or a full production recording session. Check out the industry-standard audio repair tool, RX11, or the multi-tool mixer plugin, Neutron 5, or the powerful Ozone 11 mastering suite, plus tons more. Go to iZotope.com and use the code FRET10 at checkout for 10% off. That's FRET10 to get 10% off at checkout. And again, the website is iZotope.com, IZOTOPE.com. All right, everybody, welcome to Hyphenate Halftime. This is your show for Monday, November 24th. This is the turkey week, and for all of those turkeys out there, welcome to your supreme overlord, Mr. Aaron Farley.
Welcome, turkeys.
From one turkey to another.
That's the name of my new band. Well, the Welcome Turkeys. Welcome
Turkeys, the Aaron Farley story.
Yes. Welcome, turkeys. That should be my story. That's actually a good one. That's how I feel every day.
So you're on vacation mode. I was texting you for like 4 hours, and you're like, I'm away from the phone. What do you mean?
Well, my main thing is that I get in this the mode that everybody gets in, that I'm like, I'm going to do something. But what I need to do is have my headphones on so I can listen to a podcast, listen to a bunch of stuff, and while I'm working, because I need all this different stimulation going, because I can't have any quiet time ever while I'm doing anything. And yesterday I realized I went out to do something. I don't even remember what I was doing. And I just was I just left my phone, or my phone was dead or something. So I left it charging. I got all this stuff done, in an hour.
Yeah.
In 1 hour, I got all of these things done. And I wasn't listening to any music. I wasn't listening to podcasts. I wasn't listening to anything, because I didn't have my phone next to me to where I could go well, maybe I could just check what's going on Instagram, or, oh, that reminds me, I should listen to this other podcast. And then you get scrolling, and then you're like, oh, what's this new thing that they got a little 5-minute teaser on there, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm realizing that in my day, or I know that this is happening, but I'm finally coming to terms with the fact of how much time it takes away from me. Even those little 5-minute chunks, and you put 10 of those together, and you're like, oh, well, that's an hour. And so,
the ramp up and the ramp down from the transition between those periods too. You're like, okay, now back into this. Okay, I'm plugging this in. Okay, well, I better get a coffee. Okay, hold on, let me get a coffee. Okay, now I'm sitting down. Let me check the phone. Okay. Oh, now I'm gonna get back on now I'm gonna start writing.
Totally.
I'm gonna write this. Hold on, there's an email. I think I got a text from somebody. Hold on. Okay, now I'm gonna write.
Oh, I have to pay that thing. Oh wait, did I ever pay that? Oh wait, who is that person again? Oh my God, wait, I forgot that email from my.
I gotta write this down. So, okay, as I'm writing it down. Wait, no, but I gotta check the calendar. Okay, so let me check the calendar, and then I'm going to write down that thing, and then, oh wait, I got text. There's a
and it's designed that way, right? You get all the little red bubbles for all the little apps that say that
all necessary. You have to do
I've been putting. Have you ever used Depop? Do you know what this is?
Oh yeah, resell old clothes.
Where you resell your clothes, right?
You think they're going to be worth money, and then they're not worth anything.
And I have all these things that are brand name, Patagonia jackets and whatever that I've quote unquote grown out of, or
they shrink.
yes, they shrink.
Yes.
This has shrunk entirely too much. But these other things, and so every once in a while you'd be like, hey, so and so bought this sweatshirt for $20 or whatever. And so, but then now all I do is get these Depop things on my, I was like, hey, do you want to give this person a 10% off coupon?
No.
Whatever. That's all coming up, right?
Oh,
like
notifications
constantly.
in your notification zones, right? Is that what you're saying? Like little.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm selling like $100 a month on that, whatever, or some little dumb thing. So I'm
That's
like,
nice.
this is worth my time. This
Sure.
is worth my time of like, yeah, let me see if I can. Da-da-da. And then I'm realizing like it's wasting so much of my time that $100 a month is not worth it at all. even if it's super easy to use, whatever. Like,
sure.
and all of those things of like, so-and-so sent you an Instagram message. Even if I turn all of that stuff off, it's still like on a good day, if I'm not using my phone, it's still like 2.5 hours.
Well,
right.
I experience this disbelief when I get my like weekly screen time reports or whatever. You see the thing where it pops up how much time you used. You're like, that's not possible. It must, because I was listening to a thing while in the middle of the night, or I had this thing playing, and I'll put something else. Like, it must be counting that time. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
There's no way 6 hours a day I'm using the phone. I have 6 hours of screen time daily.
Isn't that crazy?
That can't be possible.
And then you wonder why your eyes are going bad. I mean, that's why. And I'm like, God, why do I feel like I need glasses? I'm like, I'm like staring at this little screen all day.
Oh man.
And so anyway, that all that to be said, that today I was like, okay, I need to completely like clear out our storage space underneath our house, like in our laundry room area, which I've wanted to do for like a year probably. And every time I look at it, I like grab a couple boxes and I'm like, I don't have time for this. And so this morning I woke up and I was like, had coffee, and it was like 8:00 in the morning. I'm like, nope, today's the day. So it was that. And then we also, our daughter's on the soccer team at high school, and they have their like bonding for the soccer team, where you make food for everybody and they all come over to the house. And so that was happening today. So we also had to just kind of clean up and all this. And I'm like, you know what? Phone is staying downstairs today.
Smart.
And I'm not going to, and I got all this stuff done. I finished like this art project that I have I'm part of a group show in a couple weeks. And I have I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do for it, and kind of like figured it out today. It's like made this weird art chair that stores paintings.
Perfect.
And, yeah. And so we figured it out, and Towns and I were out there like trying to attach these shelves and using everything and fit and cleared the garage out and did all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, maybe I should leave this phone in more often. I'm like sitting, I'm bored for a second. I'm just like, oh no, I need to listen to that one thing. And I'm like, no. I don't need to listen. As much as I want to listen to music right now, I listen to a lot of music. I listen to a lot of music every day. I don't need to I'm like, well, but I'm getting into this old French 2000s the pop sensibility, whatever. And I'm like, no, I don't need that. I can be okay with sitting here with my own thoughts while I'm building something horribly, but it's working. It's okay. It's fine.
Oh, no.
I threw away so much stuff. Like my whole car is full of stuff to take to like Goodwill and everything. And I'm like, oh, this is what happens when my phone is not in my pocket. Okay.
It's great. It's productive.
Yeah. But what that also means is that I miss a ton of texts from you going, tonight, right? Because I put this up tomorrow. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Sunday. I forgot it's Sunday.
Well, I always hate to be a bother. I don't ever.
No, you're not a bother at all.
But I think one was like around noon, and then like a 3:00, and then like a 5:00. I'm like, just if not,
I picked my phone up at 5 and went, are these texts from Randy? Oh, right. Yeah, dude, totally. Been thinking about it all day. Just, just really like marinating on some good convo ideas.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I have to set alarms for myself. I have to, do all kinds of tricks. If I'm not paying attention, I'll just fall asleep.
Oh my God.
It's because the notifications. Yeah, I've been trying with whatever I'm downloading or logging in or doing something. And it says, "You want to turn notifications?" I just always try to say no, and then and just to minimize the amount of things I get that are the bleeping and beeping and ringing. Like that's just really I go through every once in a while and then just try to be like, just we turn these things off or just delete all these things. I really don't need this. And if I ever do need it, I'll just reinstall it later, if it's
Do I really need to know what Trump said today? How am I getting? I don't even pay for any of these news services. Yeah. And then you click on it and they're like,
you got to buy it.
They're like, pay to see this story. And I'm like, how are you even giving me these notifications if I'm not paying for this?
Why'd you even tell me?
This actually brings up your conversation. From the podcast. Yes, with Ted, which I thought it was such a great thing, and I hadn't really thought about it that way, is like, well, if you're going to give me content that I'm not paying for, then I should, and it's advertising something, then I should own that, the brainworm that you just gave me. Like you just gave me a brainworm, so I get to now use that.
I had no consent.
I think that's such a great.
I did not agree to
like
this,
artistic.
So thank you.
It's like I'm not going to resell your product, but if you say something within there and I want to use it, I get to use it because guess what? You gave it to me and I didn't ask for it. So
this is unsolicited.
That's not my problem.
Guess what? Yeah, well,
you threw me a football and I caught it unknowingly, and then you're like, hey, you don't get to use that football. Like, oh no, this is mine now.
What are you talking about? Well, yeah, it's like, something they mail you, those like junk mail things. You get all the coupons or whatever, all the stuff and all these postcards and things for stuff you don't want. Like, well, this is all mine now. This is the art. This is now the material. This is for my collages. This is all my stuff. Like, well, how did you obtain this? Were you kidding me? You paid the mail to send this to me. You spent millions of dollars to send this to so many people. Like,
not my fault.
You gave it to me for free. Now I own it. Thank you.
Well, and I guess this was always the graffiti artists' like idea too, when they're when they're getting busted for graffiti and they're like, well, you make me read advertising all day outside. And I didn't choose to do that. Yeah. Like you're giving me, you're putting all this stuff up there. So I'm just going to put my graffiti on that space because that is, you're going to put it in my mind. So then I'm going to put my name and my tag and everything else into your mind. And it's even Steven, buddy.
I could understand that.
It's legit.
It was funny. Yeah, you bring up in the talk. I was reflecting back after when I was editing the episode or putting it together. I was like, oh man, I hope I wasn't a dick about the, like I feel like I latched onto the part about using, public language or like interviews or these kinds of things. But I feel like he was trying to move on, but he was politely entertaining me in some ways. But I was like, wait, hold on. I need to really wrap my head around this. I thought
that was really
just from a legal point of view or for IP or for some reason. I don't know why. Like I was like, I'm not an IP legal person, but I just think in the world of music production and sampling, my antenna is sharpened to pick up on these kinds of things of like, is that a master use? Is that a public or is that a publishing use? Like if you use anybody's art in making your art or anybody's anything, anything that has that did not originate inside of, the echoes of your mind. Mm-hmm. That you have to pay for that. You know what I mean? You can't really make art. You can't legally or successfully, have this legal, free and clear, art practice if you are sampling or using other people's stuff, which I think I've just taken the pill of legally protecting myself or being scared or something. I don't, when you look at it, go, but no, art's always been a dialogue. Art is always in conversation, if not an outright, mirror or sampling or restructuring of the content that comes into you. So I don't know. I appreciated how much my brain stuck on that. And I felt like that took us to a different place.
I thought so. I think it was cool. I mean, I think that there is a weird thing sometimes with academia that creates different conversations. I think this happens in art too, where from a realistic standpoint, things get brought up, and then with people that are in academics that are kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but I heard, I hear what you were saying, and I heard his, not necessarily being uncomfortable, but more of like, more of him going, wait, is he trying, is he like at first going like, wait, is he trying to say that I should be paying for this? Like there was
Oh,
kind of
right,
a
right.
little bit of like,
Hold on.
no,
A
that's no.
defensiveness. No, and that's not what I
But
meant.
you, yeah, defensiveness. But you weren't. I don't feel like you were saying that. I felt like it was a legitimate conversation for sure. Of like, how does the, like, yes, we're talking about art and artisticness and that whole thing. But then you were talking more about, or you were bringing up like a more realistic kind of technical question about that, which I thought was really interesting because that's what photography has gone through forever.
Oh, right.
Of like, well, if you take someone's picture, is it your picture or is it the person who's in the picture? Is it their it's always your property, but you only get to use it for certain things if the person is not if it's used for a specific product, you have to get certain licenses, or but if it's just a picture that you took and it's a your artwork, then it's free use for you to use to print it, but it depends how you print it. And it was like, if you print it on a t-shirt,
and sell
that's
the
like,
t-shirt.
and sell the t-shirt, you
print
can
it on
sell
the
your
t-shirt.
prints.
You could print on a
You can
t-shirt
sell
and
your
just use it for
prints.
yourself. But if you sell it,
And sometimes
in
you can sell the t-shirt if it's like going along with your exhibit, like if it's showing your work and your work, your photography is the main thing, but then you couldn't cut that. Like if you have a person on there, you couldn't edit it in a way where it's only the person and it's not the photograph. Like these are like these like the same conversations. And I thought that that was really interesting too, because it brought up a lot of those photo conversations that's constantly going now. Because like so people sell, like people will find like a box of photos in their grandma's house, right? Thousands of photos. And they'll go, I'm trying to sell these for $100. I've bought those lots before. I've like,
sounds fun.
I have boxes and boxes of people's photos I go through stages. I haven't done it for a while, but I was literally looking up old, like lots of photos. Like some guy is selling like 2,000 slides from a professional photographer that was in Hollywood in the 70s for like $100. And I was like, God, do I do it? Because I know these are going to just sit in a box. But the weird thing is, even if you don't know the person's name, you technically can't use them.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, that's not your work. Like you couldn't print those and sell those prints.
But only if someone cares.
Right. Well, that's therein is the big
right. So this is what you guys were talking about with like, you can use it. And then if someone wants to sue you, they can sue you. But I think it's a really interesting thing because these are things that people discarded. I mean, I did a whole book on like discarded photography that I rephotographed some guy's photos from who is a portrait photographer in St. Louis in the 60s. And I found a bunch of his images, and then I didn't know who it was. I found out later, maybe I knew who maybe it was, because I found it in like a discarded building and they'd been dumped down a stairwell.
Wow.
But I was a little worried once I found it out before the book got published. I'm like, should I say something?
Plausible deniability.
Or no. I mean, they're just like school portraits, but for like a Catholic school. But then also it's like, they're all photos of people who really exist. And I was like, I don't know. I think I'm changing them enough that maybe it's not an issue, but
yeah.
But they're found objects.
You go back to the point of it. You can sue, but only if you're successful. Like there's no
Yeah.
money in suing unsuccessful artists, you know, which is kind
Yeah.
of the ugly truth of most musicians and artists and photographers, and 99.9% of people who create art are massively unsuccessful and not worth the time suing.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I
Yeah.
think we're led in this kind of way, at least in this American or Western, you know, sort of idea of we're all just, you know, seconds away from being millionaires and being famous. And this
Right.
art we do we have to be prepared for this art to make us rich and famous for the rest of our lives and to be our big shot out of this. So you don't ever want to cross anything that's not legally viable. But with the idea of, if you embrace the idea that you will never be successful, or this particular work you're working on will not be worth millions of dollars, and take that monetary chase or you know, take that out of the goal equation of why you're making this art, and you're making it just because the love of the creative force of it all, or you're enjoying making this creative thing, then you are very, very free. You're freer than the most successful artists in the world, because you know, a big successful artist, a Damien Hirst, couldn't flagrantly flaunt the law of copyright and fair use the way a very unsuccessful high school student could, or you know, or a mom and pop, you know, just we're decoupaging stuff over here, we're selling it, it's on Etsy, it's over here, it's there. And you know, worst case scenario, you do get a cease and desist, which costs you nothing, you know, and you either do or you don't, or you know what I mean? Like, but being nobody wants to be a bad guy, but in the same sort of way, it's not your, if you in your heart of hearts know you're not being bad, you're just being a creative with stuff that's if you found a box of photos and did something with them and you go, yeah, I'm not hurting anybody with these things, then go for it.
I put out a book that made no money.
Right. Exactly.
So
and if they came after you and said, hey, don't do that, you go, okay.
You go like, well, I already did, but I won't do it again. How about that?
But I just don't, you know, but that's I think that, you know, we're led, or maybe this is, I'm just speaking for myself, but there's this feeling of like, ooh, well, you got to go around the law, or we all try to be like, you know, Perry Mason or some kind of, you know, like, well, the law says this, but I'm going to do this and this. And it's like, you really don't even have to like get wrapped up in
worrying about it.
Stop trying your case in the court of your mind. Like, just do what the fuck you think sounds good, feels good, looks good. Just make the art. And then sort it out, and God forbid you get any kind of notoriety from it. And then, you know, like what was the Danger Mouse, the producer Danger Mouse made the Gray album where he mashed up Jay-Z's Black album and the Beatles' White album. No permissions, nothing, and it was only you know, available.
Just put it on YouTube.
But this was also
for a while.
At the rise. Well, this is the rise of file sharing. You know what I mean? Where that was all illegal anyway. So why not make illegal art to be on an illegal platform, which is all illegal? And you know what I mean? There's really, you're a pirate just for stealing one Metallica song. So, you know, why not just, you know, fuck it, just make Metallica and Weird Al Yankovic music all you want, or what is Metallica and Madonna music, the Madonna.
Madonna.
So, and it worked out well for him. I think he had a whole career after making this really like
100%
horribly illegal music, but everyone heard it and were like, that's great. You know, and he couldn't make any money
I'm
off
sure
of that,
Jay-Z
so good that
and Paul McCartney both heard it as well and probably liked it.
And because that's just it. Good art will get heard. Or good music, good art, all that stuff will get noticed.
Right.
And don't worry about if it's legal or not legal. And that,
and it's kind of really only kind of a recent thing where stuff has been taken that seriously. And I think you brought this up too, where you said that who even cares now when the devaluation of art is like 0.003 cents per spin. So who cares? It's not like there's not the value in it isn't what it used to be.
Right.
And even what it used to be, that value only lasted for like 50 years. Yeah. Right. Cause like there was not really any value in music before the 50s, right? Before
recorded music,
record players and
sheet music. Yeah. We could sell sheet music, I guess. That's where
I guess sheet music
kind of comes from, but
yeah. But really like, but there wasn't, you weren't making like, there wasn't such a huge industry from sheet music as there was from recorded music and vinyl and
It was different. Yeah. As far as I know from my, cursory just kind of research of all this stuff, the sheet music was the big deal. And everyone had a piano in the house, or not everyone, rich people, people of means had pianos in the house, and you would buy, music, and you would always have this music around. It was kind of considered part of culture of the time, to have sheet music around. And I think that was, Elvis Presley's, 7-inch records went on to sell way more. Elvis Presley singles probably wiped out whatever Beethoven, sheet music had been in the last 100 years.
I mean, it's within one artist's lifetime that it went up and then it came down, right? It was like I feel like it was like Mick Jagger or someone was like, yeah, we just got lucky. Like we were right there at the upswing and we hit the peak of all of it, and the downturn didn't affect us like it did everybody else. But you think about, that's one artist that, or Paul McCartney, whatever. It was like at the end of the 50s, early 60s until the 2020s. And you're like, well, there's the rise and the fall of the music industry as a whole, as a independent industry that it ends up now. All of the labels are owned by like some conglomeration that also owns, private prisons.
I mean,
I mean, and not even joking about that. Like literally Warner Brothers or any of those, whatever. I don't want to inflame Warner Brothers.
No, but I mean,
I don't know who owns them.
I was going to say, I mean, but I think we should also, far be it from us to say that the music industry was ever not crooked from the get-go.
No.
It was always set up poorly, and there was never really a golden age of record. I mean, I think there was, I will defend this 90s DIY music, independent, music, there was a moment that within my lifetime of things I think were done fairly altruistically or in hopes of some utopian sort of, I'm talking about Discord records and, some of these things. SST was always a terrible label. So even independent labels weren't necessarily in terms of their business models or practice or fair trading. But what was I wanted to go back. A couple of things. I wanted to go back to the idea of the photos. When you take a photo, I mean, I think this is endlessly fascinating, especially for somebody who's not in the middle of it, but have had some dealings with it a little bit. But is there, and I guess this is weird, and I don't even know if you'd know this, but is there something in those like 14 pages of things we sign every other year when we buy a new phone? If you take photos on an Apple phone, does Apple own those?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I actually was just thinking of this the other day because of the way they have their cloud system set
stored
up
on it. You're using their technology, and you store it on there, and you transfer it on there, and
it would be interesting. I bet that in their language that they have the ability to just like wipe out whatever's on the cloud at any time, because that could just happen. So I'm sure that ability is there. I would be curious that I don't think they definitely would not want to get into the legal ramifications of like using someone's images without them knowing it on like an ad or something,
right. For marketing purposes, I guess,
because of the way that ownership is litigated for any creative, even if it said that in the
language, it would still seem onerous.
People would be like, what do you mean I can't? So that means I can't get a phone?
Right.
Like if I don't agree to that, like you don't give me a chance to go, no, I want to X that out and say like, I want your phone, but you can't own my photos. But I bet it's in there. I bet if you look at it, and it's in there. People
sell photos, I would imagine, or prints of photos that were taken using Apple iPhones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Apple will ask you. Well, Apple will ask photographers. Often they put out calls all the time
to shoot,
to be like, hey, have you ever shot this and this and this on iPhone if you have, and then like agents will
soliciting for
get all that
material.
stuff and send it in. I've done that before.
Okay. All right. So it's in their best interest to keep it a free creative space.
So it's such a small amount of money for them to pay, even if it's a couple $1,000. I mean,
to license a photo or to buy a photo. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's like $1 trillion company right now. Like for them to be like, yeah, pay the couple of $1,000.
Yeah.
We don't want to be the no, but I bet you're right. I bet it's in the contract that says if at any point we can just shut your cloud off and you won't get your photos back.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that's in there. Yeah. Because they become a storage service. But this is what I was thinking, like, cause I, have all of these photos. We all do from all these years. And now there's too many photos to keep on your phone. And so through all these years and years, I was like, hey, here's some photo from 15 years ago or whatever, 10 years ago. And the other day I was like, God, I got to get a hard drive and just download these. And I started looking at how to do it. And I was like, wait, how do I do this? How do I take iCloud and hopefully someone is listening here that can help me. I didn't spend too much.
I do it every 3 months.
You do?
I try.
Okay.
Between 3 and 7 months. And I did this with the first Apple laptop I bought broke in like 3 months.
Yeah.
And I lost everything. I had music, I had photos, I had all kinds of things. And this was in like 2008 or something. And but I had the Apple Care and I like did the whole thing. And I was young but I was also so disillusioned. And this is where I had like the Genius Bar or whoever, Melrose Mac. And they're like, anything that spins, anything that has electricity, but this was a time about the hard drive at the time. Like anything that spins will break. Spinning things don't spin forever. So these hard drives, you hear that thing? That's it spinning. Do you expect the tires on your car to last forever? No, there's a lifestyle because those are spinning parts. Anything that's spinning has friction, has heat, has all this stuff. Those are going to fail. It's only a matter of time. So you should always, if they're important information. And when I was 26, 27 years old, I was like, oh, okay. So then I always had external hard drives and I just got used in the habit from back then in my 20s. So then, okay, if I'm going to live in a computer world and I have to live with this fallibility and not be shocked when hard drives fail, because that's what they're designed to do. That's what they're going to do. Computers will fail. Hard drives will fail. Some sooner than others. Some planned obsolescence. Got a quick smack in the face with all that sort of stuff. But then I would I'm play the game of the hot potato of one hard drive to another, and I'm trying to mass this thing, and that's gonna, you just have to stay ahead of the failure of these hard drives for having, and that as a photographer. But the thing of getting it off, you can go into iPhoto and then you just you export them. You just hit export and then it takes a long time. If you have a lot, it'll take a long time, but you can do them in batches of 1,000 or whatever you want. And you never look at them. That's the funniest part of it too. It's like I have photos from
whatever is just on your phone. Just on your phone, or just like in your cloud?
I empty my I empty the phone. Yeah, I empty what's on the phone. Okay. And so I don't know how the cloud works. I kind of don't believe in the cloud. I started paying for it because it helps the phone run better. Yeah. But in terms of how to access the cloud or what I'm supposed to do with the cloud.
See, that's my problem is that all of my stuff is like,
well, you could pull it. You got to be able to pull it down from the cloud in some way.
Terabytes. Right?
Yeah. Really? And you're paying for terabytes of cloud storage?
Oh yeah.
Oh. I don't know. You get it. But again, but that was sold as a sense of security too, right? Like maybe that's better. They're more reliable than a shoebox full of RAIDs. G-RAIDs in your closet that's going to get wet one of these days. Going to have a water pipe.
No, it totally is. It totally is more reliable in the sense that I can go back and there's stuff in there from 2007. Sure. And you can pull up photos or whatever.
I have the same on the hard drives. I have a couple hard drives in different places, but
but I don't want to get to that point to where they're like, now it's $50 a month. And you're like, oh my God, for photos I don't look at.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to put these I need to just have these on a hard drive that, it'll go down and then I'll go, well,
I never
there
looked at
goes
them
all
anyway.
my memories.
You got to spin them every once in a while. Yeah, no, I mean, that was the thing too when Dean and I were making records. It was like, once they were digital records, that's like, okay, I bought a big hard drive, 500 gig hard drives. And I'm like, okay, bud, here you go. You get this one. I get this one. Keep them separate because if my house burns down, then you have the multi-tracks of those. And I have these ones, or vice versa. Your house burns down. I have this. And then every record are like, do you still have the hard drive? Like, it's probably somewhere. Okay, well, I'll just buy another one. I'm going to give you another one. Keep it with that one or keep it somewhere else. And then I'm going to have the same, there's 6 records in, 7 records in. You're like, we're probably, you still have those? I don't know where they are. Like, I know where mine are, but and I've gotten asked like, can we get a thing from a thing? I'm like, I think I got them. Hold on. They're in a box that's now in a tub that's in the top of a shelf and in a garage and a place and a thing.
Yeah.
But they're there.
I know I have everything like double, triple backed up on hard drives. And then, every once in a while I'll go look for something and like one folder will be corrupted.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's the Melrose Mac of it all. You can throw money at recovery plans and things, but no, I mean, I have these 2 giant hard drives that are all timelines of Adobe Premiere things. And none of it is convertible. There's no, isn't
that crazy?
They're it's almost unwatchable. I was working with my friend Elisa, who was editor of all this footage and all this stuff. And I was like, can I just get this hard drive? He's like, yeah, sure. And he gave it to me. I'm like, I can't. There's nothing. And then one didn't work and we got it recovered. And then somebody somewhere knows a codex of how to get from a thing to, and now it's starting to become like
Premiere 3
Indiana Jones
or
something. It's got like a digital, I'm going to seal the Declaration of Independence. It's a national treasure. I'm going to figure out a codex to how to look at Adobe Premiere 3.8 from 40 years ago. It's,
that's actually a good movie. We could watch that. It'd be very.
There's footage on this hard drive that's so old, no one knows how to look at it.
He's got the dongle.
No! Who's got the dongle? Yeah.
He's got the dongle. Wait, did he say he's got the dongle?
Bro, where's my dongle?
Where's the dongle?
Part 4. This is it.
This is like a friend of mine, but he's a dad of one of Lila's friends when they were kids and going to school, and
he's a
director.
Master? Are you the dongle master?
Are you the dongle master? But he was he's a director, and he was trying to God, what was it? He had gotten this hard drive from somebody that had this old footage on it, but it was a Firewire 1.
Ooh, that sounds like
right.
Fun.
And he's like, I don't want to take the hard drive completely apart because there was some other thing. I don't even think it was a hard drive. It was actually a piece of equipment. So it's like a piece of equipment. It was Firewire 1, but he had to use it to get some information off of this computer that had like this old video footage. And he made these great movies. He actually made that movie about the oh my God, this is another one of those things. Okay. Let's see if I can explain it.
All right. I'm putting my video store brain on. Okay, what do you got? Memphis
This
Belle.
one might be easier.
Okay. It was a commercially released
Room 138.
The Stanley Kubrick, the Shining one.
About The Shining and then how it maybe. So he made that.
Oh, okay.
Tim. He's awesome.
Yeah.
And so he used to make all these kind of he would use these found footage mixed with reality so he would have all of these really amazing ideas and anyway, whatever this was, there was a piece of hardware and we were talking about it and he's like, oh my God, man, I need a Firewire
Room 237.
USB
there we go.
Yeah, Room 237. And it's like, I need this Firewire to blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, come over. I got all that stuff.
Oh, fun.
I have every Firewire to this, USB to that. I have it all in a bag and we'll go through. And we had to stitch together 5 different cables to go from 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. And finally got it to whatever his computer was at that time. And it worked. Wow. And I was like, this is why I don't throw anything away. I knew it.
This is every
technology.
Every dad's
oh my God,
wet dream. You mean
when you have my box of cables?
My box of cables? Somebody needs my box of cables?
Wait.
This is it. I've been waiting. I've been dreaming about this.
Yeah.
I knew this day would
audio.
come.
Audio, video, or computer
component.
cables? Wait,
What
which
do you
one?
need? Yeah.
Component cables.
Wait, do you have a
Dude.
jazz drive? I have a jazz drive. You need a jazz drive?
Oh my
wait.
God, jazz
No.
drives. I love
A
those.
zip. Oh no, okay. Your zip.
Yeah,
Your zip.
zip
Okay.
drives.
I think
A
we can
zip
get away
disk.
with the SCSI.
20 gigs?
I think there's a SCSI connection. I have a SCSI port there. We're doing SCSI to AV1. All right, I think we got this. We can do this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love
Yeah,
SCSIs.
I love
That's my favorite.
all of those
Probably my
things.
favorite cable. This is a good conversation to have.
cable.
I should ask
Yeah.
every guest I have on the podcast. So,
What
what's
do you
your
think about SCSI?
favorite cable type?
Yeah. Well, I have the mini HD to HD cable. That's a good one.
Firewire 800. That sure was something. It was different than the
Yeah.
Firewire 400. I had a lot of Firewire.
Remember when that came out and everyone
800.
was like, it can't get any faster than this.
Whoa, This is lightning
And then
fast.
And then you're using it and you're like, is this fast? I don't feel like this is faster. Oh, well, you have to have the faster hard drive. But how do I get that? Oh, a different computer.
Does it have Intel inside?
Wait, what?
Are we still putting Intel inside of these things?
Yeah. I feel like Photoshop or Premiere, whatever,
Yeah.
is never
supposed to
fast.
render for 8 hours.
No matter what.
The faster you get,
Yeah.
the bigger the files get. The faster the computers
Oh my
get.
God.
The bigger the files get bigger. The computers get bigger, and it's all
Yeah.
your fault. And then it still crashes.
Well, it would
doesn't
be
work.
faster if you didn't update.
Right.
But,
well, yeah.
but you have, this
Legacy.
is what we talked about last time.
Yeah.
The legacy, like just don't update. Do not hit update. No.
Oh
Yeah, my
God.
friend, my buddy, who was an editor, also did that too. He was like, we were editing on this was years ago, and I was like, how? This is an old computer. He's like, yeah, I just didn't update it. I got it all set up. This is my computer, and it was like, at that time, it was like 5 years old, 10 years old,
Mhm.
and it was running great. He's like, I don't have anything other than Premiere or whatever he was using on it, and his computer. And he's like, it runs awesome. It's amazing. I will never touch it.
The secret.
like,
yeah.
I don't allow it to, like, if it gets on. Oh no, it's like the internet. I don't even think it was on
If
the
it finds a way
internet.
to get online.
He was like, yeah, it was
it'll
like, I
destroy
can't let it
itself.
get online because it will start to try to update itself.
Like no.
And then like Adobe will find it.
start updating without
Yeah.
me knowing it. Oh,
But it had
that's
like the
wild.
whatever full suite, Adobe suite on it that was at that time,
worked
probably
great.
Adobe 10, Adobe X, whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah,
So
I
funny,
have
man.
a perpetuity Pro Tools, and people will show me like, oh, well, here's the latest update of the thing. I'm like,
You're like, no.
mine still works. I mean, I know how mine works. If I got
Yeah.
a new one, then I would have to spend that learning curve of, whatever, 2 weeks to just learn
Well-
all these new things and still just go back to keep using the ones I've already learned. You know what I mean? It's like at some point you yourself can't update as much as the programs update. Like you're not going to keep
Yeah.
up with all of them. And so then therefore they're rendered worthless. You're paying for all these updates that you don't even know how to use,
Yeah.
or it doesn't even work for you if you're not using them, or it doesn't apply. Like now we've put them in 16 different colors. You're like, I don't have any colors. None of my shit's color coded. That's why I have to learn. That's why I organize it the way I do. So I don't need to color code it. I don't need it to be automated. Maybe it'll save me 30 seconds.
I love
but yeah. Old
Yeah.
man.
I love all this stuff where it's like 8K, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, everybody still has 1080 TVs.
Oh my God.
Like,
we
Even
tried-
the 4K TVs, people don't usually use them on 4K because you can't
We just-
stream.
We just
that much
we just
information.
ran into this issue. We tried. I mean, granted, we have 2 young boys in our house, and
Yeah.
but we're open minded. We're artsy people. We tried to watch Wicked, the first one, just in hopes that maybe we would like it. I mean, we like musicals again.
Yeah.
And I just bring this up meaning that we're boy media. We know
Yeah.
Star Wars and Marvels and things.
Yeah.
But Wicked, we're like, yeah, it's a thing. That sounds cool. I mean, let's try it. We kind of missed the first theatrical thing. We know there's another movie coming out in hopes that maybe we'd go see it this winter, while it's out. Like
Mhm.
it'd be fun to go do. My wife's dying for anything that's girl focused and could be fun.
Yeah.
Like, sure, let's do it. So we put it on, and she was the one that like kept throwing the flag on the play. Like, she's like, why does it look like this? Why does it's like 3D? I hate this. Can you turn that
Yeah.
off? Turn it off. I'm like, what do you mean? This is how movies look. What are you talking about? She's like, no, it's doing the thing. The TV's doing the thing where it looks looks 3D. Like they're trying to make it look
Yeah.
like it's like popping out at you. Can you turn that off? And she's like, I know how to turn it off. And she's like pressing buttons. Now we're like, now it's sepia toned and now it's this and that. I'm just like, it all still looks like digital shit. It's all digital baby shit.
You got to
Now-
put it on cinema mode. Cinema mode.
She
We'll take that
She pressed
off.
all the buttons and tried to do all the, I'm like, are you saying, cause is it the frame rates? Are we at like now 32
60 frames
or something?
It's
Like, is it
60 frames?
Well, it's
yeah.
24 is a correct, or is the film one, right? 24?
Yeah, but they shoot them at 60 sometimes now,
you can
and then
watch those on the new TVs.
and they watch them
Oh.
at 60. You can watch them at 60, so it's like quote unquote sharper.
Okay,
it looks horrible.
She hated it. She just couldn't. She couldn't do it. And it's funny that me and the boys were just like, "Wait, is this the movie? Is this the movie on? Like, is it starting?" Because there was like a flashback to then like a story. And then a flashback of the story, and then to the other movie, like before, and then it's like, now here we are at school. We're at Jizz Academy or something. You're just like, that's a weird name for it. Wait, what? And then, but at least but then it started like, okay, here we are. But it was there was like 15 to 20 minutes of like but it wasn't. It was just so hard to be like, when's the movie starting? You see at the back of Dorothy kind of walking away, and then, well, that's when she was born. But first we got to see her mom have the affair. Okay. Now there's this flashback in the middle of the story. So then after the affair, then she was born. She had a sister. Like, oh, well, that's the one who got the house on her, right? But she's in a wheelchair. Like, that's not nice.
Oh my God, I'm losing you. Hold on.
They dropped a house on a little girl witch in a wheelchair, and then it just kept going and going, and we couldn't figure it out. We kept thinking it was going to make sense, and then by the time my wife was just like, "This doesn't make sense at all," she hated how it looked. So we had to turn it off. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. Yeah. It's supposed to be good. Have you? So I guess this is my way of saying, have you guys watched Wicked? Okay. Lila's not like, this is my favorite.
No,
thing. Ariana Grande.
Oh no, Lila and Michelle went and watched it.
Okay.
They loved it.
They loved it. Okay. But the cinema thing, I guess, I don't know. However, it's made to look, and then I saw something that said a lot of films have like portrait mode on, like you do on the thing where you have this real shallow depth of field, and so everything in every shot, everything's blurry behind the main character, and that creates a weird like alienation. Instead of seeing like sharpness in the background, you just feel like, oh, okay, this is all weirdly gooey, digital goo behind them.
Yeah. The people that make all that stuff do not know how to make decisions, like good decisions. You know what I mean? Like they're not making artistic decisions. They're making corporate decisions.
Oh, right.
I feel like it's like pop music where you're like, I don't know. Do we all want to hear the same song over again and over compressed and just like, okay, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think so. And I think most people just look at it and go, I don't know. TV is just sharp and shitty looking now, I guess. But we didn't know what it looked like before. So we don't know any different. Where you're like, don't you want it to look like a cool old movie? This is what I was going to say about the photography thing too, or the, like when you're talking about the music production and all that. And like when I was shooting a lot more and I would get a lot of people going like, oh, what do you think about, did you see this new lens coming out? Or did you see this blah, 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 and this and this and this? And oh my God, this is going to change photography forever. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, now these lenses are coated 10 times and they used to be only coated twice. And you're like, well, what kind of lenses did Richard Avedon shoot with? Because those are all the work that everybody harkens back to, like William Eggleston and like all this. And like, I mean, they just had a Leica with a 35 millimeter lens or a 50 that was coated a couple times and cost $1,000 and technically is half as sharp as your lens now. And those photos are great. I don't know. Stop caring about that shit. It's like if you want to spend the money,
shoot more photos.
Also, if you want to spend the money, please do. but it definitely will not make your photos any better.
Yeah, if you don't know how to shoot. Then it's the same, with all the music production and recording. If you don't know how to record, or if you don't know why you're recording it the way you were recording it, or using that for an artistic choice, if you have the tools that you're not familiar enough with to really exploit what they do well and hide what they're bad at, then, and again, that doesn't make you good or bad. It's just, you know what I mean? There's the skill and the experience of using something for a long time, no matter how good or bad it technically is, with finger quotes, you might get lucky. Oh, cool. Hey, that sounds better. But you could also get something to sound good out of a bad piece of equipment, or get something bad out of a good piece of equipment. It's the equipment doesn't make the song. It doesn't make the record. And
you listen to like all those old mono recordings and everything, and you're like, this is like,
there's a vibe.
Also, because people used to practice and play 5 times as much as people got used to doing now.
It could make a difference. It could be a contributing factor to the quality of the music, how well you play your instrument. It is possible. I'm willing to give you that. It could be. I'm willing to give you the possibility that it could happen.
You never know.
Versus the how many the bit sample rate, or how much you spent on the microphone. The price of the microphone may be slightly less important than the quality of the musician, the playing put in front of the microphone. Maybe.
And songwriting.
Just maybe. I don't know. Just maybe. Because if you have a really expensive microphone, it's going to do a lot of the work for you.
Yeah. that will make my sounds so much better.
And the same goes with guitars. If you have a really expensive guitar, you will sound a lot better.
Yes.
Your bad playing will sound way louder and clearer. It'll be a lot easier to hear how bad you sound. With really nice microphones and really nice guitars and really nice amps. Yeah, it'll be very apparent. I know this from experience. I speak from experience. I've sounded bad on lots of nice, expensive pieces of equipment.
And great on a lot of shitty equipment.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I've hidden behind the smudge. Sorry. Wicked, the last part of it. So you haven't watched it at all?
No, okay. I haven't seen it. There was something, and again, I can't really critique it because I didn't watch enough of it or really spend enough time with it, but there was just something so uncharming about the Ariana Grande like character, where she just it was this like extra bubbly, like kind of thing. I'm like, oh, well, she's going to be the bad guy. Like they're doing the like, oh, this is who you think is the good guy, this is who you think's the bad guy. But she was so bubbly, but it was not charismatic in this way where like, I get that's probably what the character is supposed to be, but I just found it very unpleasant to watch. Oh. Well, I'll have to watch it.
I don't know, or not. You really don't have to, I suppose, I was willing to go with it and it's like, oh, cool. It's, I hate myself sometimes when I shut things out. You know what I mean? I feel like I have a pretty good sense of what I'll like and not like, not what's good or bad, but for my own personal taste of if I'll like it or won't like it. And I'll make snap decisions sometimes. And then I'll hear so much about a thing like a movie or a TV show. I'm like, maybe my gut was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. And I want to go watch this. And I give it a shot and I'm like, no, I don't like this.
Yeah. How often is your gut wrong?
Very rarely. And it's a shame, but again, there's a bias. There's a user bias to this. You know what I mean? I could just tell myself I don't like it, but I'd love nothing more than to be wrong. I'd be like, oh shit, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. For the most part, I think you guys talked about this in the show too, that I think with a musical is very hard to do as a movie. Or I guess you were talking about just like shooting.
Oh, right.
Play,
the performance versus
and
the production.
This was like the one. Yeah. And really the only, but I'm the same, like with musicals, I'm totally pro musical, but I don't enjoy them. Like I understand why they exist.
Going to see them live or watching them as
just
a movie?
Just in general, because I'm not like a theatrical person. I like realistic.
You in plays
like
when
more,
you were a kid?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But I like more realistic kind of, like even with music, like I like more realistic kind of something that means whatever, all that kind of like something that's down to earth and means something and is heavy and whatever. I like that. And the musical thing for me is just, I just can't get into it because I'm like, why are they singing so much?
I've
You
said
know what
those
it,
words. Yes.
but that's just me, because and I know that that's just something that I can't, for whatever that type of art that gets to certain people, it just doesn't get to me. But I loved Hamilton.
Oh,
Like when we
okay.
went and watched it, like we went to, when it came through the first time in San Diego or whatever, we went down, and it was awesome. But it was also like really kind of funny and fun.
Sure.
You know, like inside
yeah.
jokes and all that kind of stuff. So
It's entertainment.
so
Yeah. It's supposed to be.
but I realized that I probably hadn't seen a lot of musicals live. Like I
Mhm.
had tried to watch movies of musicals or musical
And
movies,
you're
and
losing.
it did.
You're losing something.
I'm
there.
sitting in my house going like, I don't know.
It's almost like a concert film though too. It's very rare that you would watch a concert film of a band that you hadn't heard before and go, wow.
Right.
This
Other than song remains the same. I squeeze my lemon and the juice runs down my leg.
But that's not even a live concert.
I remember
right?
watching that.
Isn't that like a lot of like filmed parts and there's like skits and sketches and things?
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I just remember thinking how funny that was when I was in like middle school or junior high, that he's like talking about squeezing his lemon and the juice running down his leg. And we were just like, oh my God, I can't believe he's saying this. I didn't even know what that meant until right now. And this is like,
That's hilarious. I think that the few like live music things I've seen recorded, there was a Led Zeppelin like concert DVD that came out of them. I don't know where it was, like Wembley Stadium or something. There was something that was like them back like on tour in the 70s that looked great. It came out sometime in like the mid-aughts. I forget what it was. But that I thought that made me appreciate Led Zeppelin more than I had up until that point. But also the Who playing a quick one while he's away on the Rock and Roll Circus, the Rolling Stones like live thing.
Yeah.
I didn't care a lot for them. It's like Jethro Tull. There's like a weird John Lennon thing with Yoko and Keith is playing in it, and then the Stones. But the Who one blew me away. There was something so electric about that really like came through and caught me in a way. I was like, whoa. Yeah. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's reminding me though. I got to go watch that again. But I feel like I watched that somewhat recently, like within the last.
Oh my God. Well, the song, 5 years. Yeah. I mean, because the Rock and Roll Circus wasn't released until this DVD that came out 20 years ago, whatever it was. But it had kind of been seen as a failure on their part. And Brian Jones died right after they shot it too. So there was like this kind of haunting thing.
Oh, wow.
You see him like sort of, this is his last major, public performance. Oh, Marianne Faithfull, she's good in there too.
Oh, right.
But the Who, but in that song too is like a kind of little mini opera, or it's got all these like parts and movements in it. It was, it's kind of proggy sort of piece for them too. And just Keith Moon, I just, the look in his eyes, he throws his floor tom up and comes down on the big bang, bang before the song goes in. It's like has this like soon be gone kind of cowboy doom, 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 and then he just picks up that floor tom, throws it over his head and comes down in like one motion. And it's just like, oh shit. Okay. And but like looks that crazy look, the Keith Moon look. I was like, wow, that is something. Like obviously, I was too young to experience any of that sort of stuff, but to see that captured on film, like there was a maniacal magic to it. And I guess there was even talks too. I think in the extras on the DVD, they were the Stones did kind of recognize that they got their asses handed to them on their own. I think they spent millions of dollars, equivalents of millions of dollars to make this thing. And Brian Jones was all fucked up and, couldn't really play. And the Stones, I guess, came off of a tour. They'd been on tour for the last 2 years and had just been on this huge creative streak and had been like hammering these songs out live for the past,
60 days in a row and just walked into that studio with like a precision watch and just clicked into gear and just blew everyone away. And I could feel that. I remember thinking about, I kept that as an inspiration for a lot of years in through all the no age stuff we were doing. Like that's a well practiced band and a well played, just in so many ways, obviously, it's an understatement, but to see them in that kind of power, that tour tightness, like I would always think like, the best, if we you play 30 shows and then at the 31st show, you're really not thinking, you're just feeling. And there's something that you can't cheat. Or even 30 practices in a row or 50 practices, 100 practices wouldn't be the same as 30 shows.
Yeah.
Because you're wired, nothing throws you. You've gone over everything. You made every mistake. You fumbled over stuff, and it becomes muscle memory. And as a group, the twitch. Like I could see the corner of my eye, Dean flicking his wrist. Like, oh, we're gonna stutter here. We're gonna do that. You're at some point. You're like what do they call it? Like that was like that mushroom network. Where they're talking to each other without words. Mycelium network. There's something happening on stage. You're just for us, 2 people or 4 people. Whatever your band is.
Yeah.
But that's magical and psychedelic in a way that's crazy. And I remember, you kind of glimpse. I was like, that's where they're buzzing. And I'm sure on a lot of drugs and other substances too, they're buzzing out. But to watch that come through film 60 years in the future, it's really like, whoa, okay, that's cool. I'm sure there's other experiences. I'm sure there's other things captured.
Man,
I don't watch a lot of it, but musicals. My mom took me to musicals as a kid, and there were some that I liked better than others. And then I was in them in junior high. We had a really cool kind of charismatic Vietnam vet, Mr. Hood, who taught the drama department for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And it was cool. It was the cool thing to do, was to be in the play. He made it cool. And those are the kids in the drama class were the cool, you know what I mean? It was like a fun, like they knew they had power at the school and they had confidence and they looked cool and they put on plays and it was funny. And Mr. Hood was, like I said, he was a vet with kind of a beard and a ponytail, and he would throw like, Nerf footballs at you in the class. If you weren't paying attention or you were sleeping, he'd hit you in the head. It was a different time kind of thing, but he was that kind of teacher that was engaging and powerful. And there was like, whoa, okay. So that kind of instilled. So we did Annie, Bye Bye Birdie, and Peter Pan for those 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. And I was in each one of them, small parts, but it's just the camaraderie and that love of like just being behind the stage and feeling when the lights go down and everyone's in the audience and just that electricity, and everyone's been working for months, all these, kids. And you're like, just that, like that bond of working on a performance and then going out there on stage and you get it right. You biff it. It doesn't really matter at that point. You know what I mean? It's just, everything's just go. It's live. It's happening. It's exciting. So those particular plays I remember, and then I had seen them on stage, and we even took the kids to see Peter Pan. Last time was at the Pantages. And I'm just, like so happy. And I think Shannon was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, I don't know. I have a show tunes bubble for this thing, for these, like,
I love it.
These things. I'm like, I don't know. This is kind of my gay side. I got like 5 musicals I really like. I don't like all of them. But yeah, I don't know. There's those moments where it's like dialed in, and it's again as like a young junior high kid where you're just kind of like, I don't know, like finding out about music, listening to Nirvana, in a Peter Pan play, like, I don't know. These are just things you do. It's that
expressing yourself,
transition from being a little kid into kind of this punk, kind of teenage kid, but still wanting to express yourself and be a part of a group and being a ham and wanting to be on stage and wanting to perform and just getting that, like, that excitement, feeling that juice, from the, It's funny. I remember talking with Ian Mackay, one of these times on tour and things. And he talked about that. He was in plays and he loved it. It was a similar kind of thing, like high school and like, or maybe even younger, that he had done plays. And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
I can see that. You know what I mean? Like he was brought up in a nice, suburb of DC and went to a good school. And I'm sure that's just part of what you did. But there was something so fun about that. And I think if you want to be a performer, there's something, like, okay, you can recognize, like, there's a pathway here. There was something happening here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I loved playing live. Like when we would play live, like I would feel very, very uncomfortable before
Mm-hmm.
of like, I'm going to forget everything. I'm going to forget like all the songs. I'd have all that stuff. And then the second we got up there, I felt like always very like relaxed.
Isn't that
Like
funny?
like standing
like-
up and just going like,
It's like Ritalin or
"Ah."
something. Like you get so nervous, you're like, well, that can't be any more nervous. I just go into.
Well,
like,
and most of the
Zen
time,
mode.
you know, there were only like 10 people there or whatever.
Sure.
So it wasn't that big of a deal. But then, you know, even those times where we played FYF and there's like a couple hundred people there and just being like, yeah, this is fun. I like this. But not like, you know, I definitely wasn't like, hey, everybody, so welcome Los Angeles, you know?
You weren't
I
Bruce
didn't need any
Springsteen.
of that.
Yeah.
But like that thing of like, oh, you've worked so hard with these songs and like trying to make them a little bit better every time, or like you were saying, like trying to be more comfortable with it so you could move around more, or so it was just felt more organic, or hey, let's add this little part to the middle and see if it works, or whatever.
Yeah.
All of those things. And then you actually get up there and doing it and you go, like, it's almost like, do you ever get those moments when you get on an airplane and you sit down and you just know you have like 2 hours where everything is there for you to do? Like there's nothing for you to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're
just
there
relax.
and there's
go
a
with it.
beginning and then there's going to be an end at some point. And this is the thing. It was like, well, our first song is this one. Then we have 7 more. and then our
it's
last
done.
song is that one. And it takes about 35, 40 minutes. And then we're done. But for that time, like we're just here and they're there. And sometimes they're going to leave and sometimes they're going to stay. And, but this is super fun.
Yeah.
And I did love that, the remembering or feeling that relaxed, like sitting up there and going like, I feel really relaxed. I feel much more relaxed than I should.
Yeah. Right. I
enjoyed it.
deserve feeling up here. Like this feels way too comfortable. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Like I never felt like, oh, I shouldn't be here. Like, which is weird.
It's huge.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Where you feel that way.
Yeah.
So many different weird things in life. Like,
yeah.
I shouldn't be at
Most
this restaurant.
other times in
Why am I
life.
in the store? What's going on here?
Like I feel like walking off the stage a lot of times I'd be like, oh my God, I got to get out of here. I just feel like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it makes total sense. Yeah. No, there was things in the, like, especially playing a set or just touring for a while, there was moments of just like, okay, I know this one always ends like tight. And then the next one is like a slow build, or the next one's like begins with a bang, you know, like even just thinking about like the time in between the songs, that was the fun part to really like think about, like, okay, well, if this one ends on a ring out, can I like throw that into a delay, tune real quick, and then fade back into the next song, you know, like really working on transitions? Or is this the moment, like I draw little lines on the set list, like, okay, no, Dean's going to say something here. This is a good spot to kind of like catch your breath, let everybody kind of reset, you know, and then like check everything and kind of go through it all. But we'd get points, you know, at somewhere in the, you know, 15 years ago where it was like, we would purposely build in like, weird improv moments or like things to just throw each other off to see if we'd catch it. There'd be like a song where we'd have like one stop, but then we're like, do another like dunk, dunk, dunk. You know, and I just have to like watch, like, how many times are we going to do this? You know, until we either start keep laughing or like we stop laughing or with something, you know, it's like random. That's only for us. It's just like in the middle of the song. It's supposed to happen once, but then we would build it out like 3, 4, 5, and so, you know, do it 10 times just because we were like cracking each other up. Like, stop! You're gonna keep doing it. I did it again. He's still doing it. And then like you got to catch up. Is he going to go back into the song? Am I going to miss it? Or is he going to miss it if I try to? You know, those weird. You're just dumb at that point. And it's like literally 5 seconds that no one else thinks about, but we'll talk about it for 2 hours the next day on the drive. Like, you had way too many. How'd you do that? Like, I didn't know when you go here, I got to do this. And, you know, but it's really 5 seconds in the show that no one noticed. Like, I think I think the record's skipping or something. I think that's what it was for us, is we thought it would just be funny to sound like a record skipping in the middle of the set for no reason, or a CD like skipping.
Yeah.
Just because that made us laugh.
So good.
So, but that's also, you know, when you know the material so well and you're like so like dialed in, you can put in those kinds of things that are not necessarily musically enriching or good. It's not like we probably should have been busier. Like, well, we should extend that solo into the fifths and ninths and the modality and go into a quarter time. We'd probably be doing some Berkeley music jazz shit, but no, we're more interested in recreating.
Just get more expensive mics.
The sounds of stutters. Yes, that's it. That's what we should have been more focused on.
Well, that's interesting because it is like music and plays are interesting, like juxtaposition, because they're both things that people are there to hear you repeat. Like they're repetitive, right? Like
right, yeah,
you can play those songs forever as long as there's people that are there to watch them.
And even
whereas
when
like
they're
a
not
comedy,
there, you can still keep playing them.
yeah. Well, but even like a comedian gets like kind of one run of their stuff, and then once they've like finished their hour, then they're like, oh, I got to do another hour, and no one wants to hear, or you don't want to like repeat. You're not going to go off, go on a tour with your old jokes or whatever, But music has that unique thing where you can do that, and you can change it a little bit. You can, and people expect it's expected.
Yeah.
So
they'd be pissed if you didn't play that song again for the 5,000th time. What the fuck, man? I paid money. Why didn't you play that song? Oh, okay.
Which is why people have issues with Bob Dylan,
because he doesn't play the same songs. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because he'll play like a Rolling Stone, but it's like, let's play it fast with the different words or whatever.
This is a calypso.
And people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, man. It's about art, man. This is what I want to do. Like, is it though? Because we're paying a lot of money.
I don't even think he says that. I think he says, hey, man, what's wrong?
Hey, man. I just told the band to do, take it out, do another one,
Oh, the Flour Biscuit Power Hour. Hey, have you heard his radio show on Sirius XM? I don't know if he still does it. But he did like an old time radio show where he'd be like, welcome to the Flour Power. No, not Flour Power. What's it called? Like Flour Biscuit Company Sack Folk Hour or something, or Rock and Roll Review Thunderstorm. And he would just kind of read like a poem. It felt like this song reminds you of the taste of your mother's saliva on the back of your cheek on that one April morning while you had a cherry pie. Something. You're just like, huh? When your shoe touches the grass and the electricity storms through the back of your brain. Next song. Okay. You're like, all right, thanks, Bob.
Is this during beautiful. His beanie with an earring?
I'm sure. Yeah. The hoodie, the black hoodie always pulled over his head.
The black hoodie. Yeah.
Hey,
I'm like Justin Bieber.
He owns a boxing gym. I think that's his like boxing workout gear. He like works out in Santa Monica at his boxing gym.
Didn't he just have a paint? I feel like he had a big painting show just recently.
Oh my God. Good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
what I would do if I was Bob Dylan.
Of course, you do what the fuck you want to do. Buy all your neighbors' houses and then install porta potties for your security staff that make the whole Malibu colony smell like porta potties. So your neighbors have to put up giant fans to blow all the shit smell back to your property.
Are you serious? This happens?
Yeah, you don't know that story?
No, I don't know this story at all.
I think he's been, like many people are apt to do. They'll just buy up their whenever the neighbors sell, they'll buy the houses and then just keep building out the giant compound. And I guess he had porta potties installed either for the workers or for the security or for whoever, because they didn't want them coming in the house. But I guess there was a number of them and they hadn't been serviced or something. And so the other millionaires in Malibu complained, and he said, go fuck yourself, because he's Bob Dylan. And then,
I'm Bob Dylan.
So then they bought fans. This is the story I'm told. This could be apocryphal, but this is the story that it was said. And then they blow all of his porta potties back to him, so they just the wind.
Oh my God, that is some millionaire ideas of how to fix stuff.
Yeah. Good luck fighting with your millionaire neighbors.
How much is it to buy a fan the size of a semi truck and put it on the back of an actual semi truck? Yeah. It's about $80,000. All right. Give me 4 of those.
Exactly. I'm going to need multiples. That'd be perfect.
How close can I park that to the yard? Give me the congressman.
I live next to fucking Bob Dylan. This is what I'm worried about. This is great. All right. We should wrap it up here. Everybody be well. I got Martin Atkins from Killing Joke on Thursday. He's performing
amazing.
in Chicago, a Killing Joke record Extremities with a bunch of guest artists and doing a whole weekend of it there. He also has the Post-Punk Museum. It's like the Museum of Industrial Music in Chicago. He's an interesting, cool guy. He played in PIL. He is an incredible drummer. Playing Pigface. His project.
Amazing.
Yeah, so he's coming up on Thursday. And then more good stuff to get us through the holidays. Remember, tell your friends to listen to this and write us Hyphenate Halftime. I have a song from Dorian Holder, the former
awesome.
guest.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play us out with one of those.
Amazing.
He has a new song. I'll put that. You can find the link in the show notes of where to go to his Bandcamp. And it's also, he has the songs are up on DistroKid as well. He is DistroKid.
Nice.
And you can do the same. And write us hyphenatehalftime@gmail.com. Find Aaron Farley at Aaron Farley on Instagram. I'm at Randy S. Randall on Instagram. And what were we going to say, Aaron? Sorry, I was cutting you off.
Oh, it sounds like you're going to do Chicago month. Got a lot of Chicago.
Oh, no,
recently.
I should, right?
Yeah, Chicago month would be heavy.
God damn. It's been on my list of things to do, and I'm just always like,
come on, you have all the time in the world, Randy. you got nothing going on.
Yeah, that is
so
true,
much time to plan podcast details.
I think I've been burned on the last couple of themes I've tried, and I'm starting to be like theme shy. It's like I don't know,
noise music.
See. Yeah, but there's great. I also just feel like there's so many great fun interviews, and then I feel like if I start pushing the theme idea of it all, I'm like,
right,
am I watering it down? Am I like pulling at straws? But no, I think Chicago would be great. I know Tim Kinsella just performed here in LA with Cap and Jazz. And and I wanted to go, but I was doing dad stuff. We had soccer practice for the playoffs that night, and I was unable to go. But I think it'd be fun to talk to Tim. It'd be fun to talk to a few other Chicago people. But the Chicago story is a big story. Like, what is the?
It's crazy. Right?
What is the? I mean, I'd have to take a very small slice at a very small window of time, and I think there's I've already I've talked to some Chicago hitters so far. Yeah. And more coming up, but it's hard to,
maybe you could start to do some revisits and put them together as under some little pods.
Right.
Chicago pod.
The Chicago pod. I know. Scene shows. I think it does work. I don't know. Yeah. I just get like, I get frustrated with myself. I'm just like,
don't get frustrated. You're doing great, Randy.
Hang in there.
You're doing great.
Give me the pocket. Yeah.
Listen, hang in there, kid.
Hang in there. One of these days.
Listen, you're being.
This will work.
This is what the therapists always say to everybody. I found out you're being too hard on yourself, man.
Whoa, really? You think so?
I don't deserve. Has a therapist ever told you that?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah. I've alternated from.
Me too. They're like,
you're being too hard on yourself. You should probably be a lot harder on yourself. You're really letting yourself.
You're taking this too easy,
you
man.
Really don't
this
seem
life
to
should be
care.
much harder for you.
It sounds like you have a problem. Like, what are you talking about? I don't have a problem. Everybody drinks 14 beers a day before they go to bed. While I'm lying about the 2 bottles of whiskey I also drank and the bottle of wine I had with lunch. Like, what do you mean? Like,
well, that's a whole other thing.
You really have a problem here. Like, I don't think I do have a problem. I think my life is going very well. Thank you.
You're my problem. Yeah, that's what I found out. You
have a problem. All right, man. All right. We'll see you there. Bye.
See ya.